Watch 34 McCowan lay the wood on Petri Skriko, number 26. Right there. It wasn't a great big slash, but it was one you could hear. He's guilty by the sound of a slash, and that's the second player that's taken a swing at Skriko.
They're still tied in Los Angeles, 1-1 in the second period, just underway. We'll keep you posted, of course. Nordmark will have to come back. The Flames lead by a goal, 3-2. And now have to try to kill this penalty. Pass through the middle. Stern didn't see it. It was behind him. Skriko mishandled it near center ice. Reinhart. He's the smooth skating defenseman for the Vancouver Canucks. Up on the left side with the pass. Bradley gets it into the zone. Skriko going in after it. Bradley fighting there with him. Stern picked it up off the boards and tried to center it. Couldn't. Reinhart at the line. Hands it off to Nordmark, and he played it up into the corner again. Back it comes to Reinhart. Reinhart flipped the pass in, but it was right onto the stick of Merzen, and Merzen backhands it down the ice.
Reinhart was anticipating that Skriko would jump to the net, and he didn't, so the pass looked like a bad one, but it was a good idea, but his teammate didn't read what Reinhart read.
Reinhart played it in again, but this time from his own side of center ice. Should have taken another step. That's icing called against Vancouver, and they'll bring it back.
Paul Reinhart, maybe Pat Quinn's best move in trading for Reinhart. You know, he only played 14 games last year, and it was quite a gamble to take him. This year he played 64, leads his team in assists, is the quarterback of the Vancouver power play, and I think he's among the top 6 passers in the National Hockey League. And he told me today in the hotel, one of the reasons why he could play so many games was the Canuck coaching staff telling him, if his back got sore at all, you don't have to practice.
Nieuwendyk with Lube and Roberts. 44 seconds left on the power play for Vancouver. Nieuwendyk coming back. Roberts hopping over the boards. Lube remaining on, and he dumped it down the ice. Out of the net, McLean. He stops it. Butcher now lining up with Lidster, starting out. Butcher coming this way to Nordmark. Nordmark finding no room against Lube. A good play by Lube. Lidster can't go in, and Lube with one man back. Racing in. Lube comes in with a low shot, and McLean made the stick save. 8 seconds left on the penalty. So the Flames have just about killed this one. Gilmore up there forechecking. Vancouver moving in. The penalty is over. That is McCown on the play. Right out of the penalty box and after the puck. Back of the goal is Netras. Cleared it up to Mullen. Too far. Butcher again. Along his own line for Lidster. He played it through the middle. They're offside. Linden made the move, hitting the line. And the winger went in, and he was offside.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Great.
Brian.
Hey, Brian, please stand him up!
Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Wake up, hey Susie, wake up.
A very young, good-looking Phil Esposito, and now with the gray hairs, which no doubt will get a little more gray, behind the bench for the New York Rangers, dropping the first game of their best-of-7. You watch Lemieux all night, and Coffey gets loose for 2 goals. That's Nordmark back, got it up across center ice. Center missed the pass on the boards. And the Flames shoot it in. McLean will play this one. Icing had been waved off. 3-2 is the score. Calgary on top of Vancouver in this first game. Number 2 tomorrow night. Right here at the Olympic Saddledome. Right in front. Hunter just missed chipping one. McLean had to be careful. There's going to be a penalty on that one. McLean jumped the stick out, deflected the shot into the stands, and again, Vancouver with a penalty. Nordmark heading off.
When Nordmark did his job, he knocked Joel Otto down. They ought not to give him a penalty for that, because that's a tough chore. But watch in front of the net as McInnes shoots, right there. Otto, who lives in the opposing crease, got knocked down in his own home by Robert Nordmark, the defenseman for the Canucks, who's not known for his physical play. Showed a little there. And who's out there? Penalty killing specialist Harold Snips again, and he will probably spend the whole 2 minutes killing the penalty.
Nordmark had tied the game in the second period for Vancouver. McCown gave the Flames the 1-goal lead at 15:30 of the second. Now again an opportunity for Vancouver to go another goal up and get a 2-goal lead, which would look very comfortable with 13:53 remaining in the third period.
Well, nobody likes to play the game any more than Harold Snips, and he won the most popular player of the year, voted by the Calgary fans. He's popular in all the rinks that he plays in, and gets a lot of boos in the other ones.
Lidster shoots the puck down the ice. Calgary second overall in the regular season on the power play. 24.9%, and boy, that's something. Second to Philadelphia. They were 26-7, thanks to Tim Kerr and his work. Snep shoots it in. 1:15 left on the penalty. The fans restless. They want the Flames to score right now. Well, it's McInnes coming up to slap it in. High one to the glass, right to the goaltender McLean, and he will hold it, slowing the play and stopping it for a face-off in the Vancouver zone that was left.
You know, an odd quirk in the NHL schedule. These two teams have not played since February the 5th. And the Vancouver Canucks have not played the Calgary Flames without the services of Barry Peterson, their best defensive center and one of their premier penalty killers. And he's sitting at home in Vancouver, probably watching this game, getting over a broken collarbone, a victim of Scott Stevens' body check.
Edmonton and LA are tied at 1. They're in the second period at the Forum in Los Angeles. Scott Oak is with us tonight, is watching that for us, and he'll have the highlights for you and me right here. A 1-goal lead for the Flames in Game 1. Game 2 tomorrow right here at the Olympic Saddledome. Friday, a day off for travel to Vancouver. Saturday and Sunday, Games 3 and 4 in this series. Molson Hockey Night in Canada with all the action for you. That is Butcher trying to clear the zone, and he does a pretty good job getting it by everybody and down the ice. Less than a minute to go on the penalty to Vancouver. 50 seconds to be precise as Gilmore comes in there. Gilmore plays it to the left side to Mullen. Mullen on a sharp angle, won't shoot from there. Steps away from the boards, and he doesn't know which defenseman to go to. Now he goes to McInnes. McInnes shoots it! Knocked down in front of it. He made the save, and the rebound was there for a few seconds. Now the Canucks clear it down with 30 seconds left in the power play.
McInnes took a little off that shot as he rolled one in on a wrist shot, hoping Otto could tip it, but he missed it.
Suter rips it in, bounces down to McLean, took a tricky hop, he knocked it away, and it goes down the ice again. The net was off the magnets, but McLean fixed it. He didn't want the play to be stopped. Will bring about another face-off in his zone. Good thinking by McLean. Nobody saw it. Lube comes in. Lube stopping, playing it back, and Suter's shot deflected on a stick, and it goes into the corner. Grabbed by Bridgman back of the goal. He left it there. Reinhardt without a stick will have to boot this one away. He hand passes the puck to Adams. That stops the play, but the penalty has been served. Not much to this. The officials were in quickly, and they get in between Nieuwendyk and Butcher.
Esso would like to shed some light on the subject of gasoline. Not all gasolines are right for your car. Some can cause engine knock, even engine damage. Now there's new Esso Supreme, with added deposit control. A premium gasoline specially formulated to provide smoother burning, more power, and acceleration. In short, regular gasoline can't hold a candle to new Esso Supreme.
Cups that the Montreal Canadiens have won, they always seem to have a player of the work ethic of the likes of Jacques Lemaire. And he went on, of course, to coach. Successful there, too. But what a workhorse. Lemaire of the Canadiens. Here are the Flames. And Fleury fired one and hit the side of the net. Get it out to center. Bodies flying inside the line as Hunter decides it's time to throw it around a bit. He slammed into Ronnie Stern. Skriko stepping out. Comes to center and trying to go in. Oh, chance for Calgary to clear it. They don't. They score. Calgary had a couple of chances to move it out with a hit back of the blue line. And the puck was there what seemed like an eternity, Harry.
Boy, what a goal this guy scored. He nearly got his head ripped off by Natras on a check right at the blue line. He got up right there. A lot of players wouldn't get up. He got up and went to the net, and what do you think he found when he got there? The puck, and put it in. And Ron Stern, number 20, is hurt on it. Watch this hit, though. Oh, then he gets up and scores. This guy's an Indian rubber ball, and boy, that'll go on the highlight film for the Vancouver Canucks for the playoffs, and that ties the game, and Ron Stern is the injured player behind the Calgary net.
Now, let me say that Stern was hit at the far side by Hunter, and that kind of started the Flames to throw the weight. What a hit at the blue line. But it didn't stop the Canucks. They were in to tie it. Flames had a couple of chances to move it away from in front of Mike Vernon, but he was left alone on that quick play, and Bradley put it home. Stern assisted.
Well, let's have a look and see what happens to Stern. He should have scored, and then he takes a shot right there, cross-check in the back from Hunter, and goes down. What's the old line, Bob? Will he take a hit to score a goal? Well, Stern showed you right there. He took the cross-check after he had a chance to score, and his line mate, Skriko, came in and put it in. This kid has been very effective for Vancouver tonight, and Petri Skriko shows you that the size of the heart is more important than your height, as he took an awful wallop from Natras, got up and scored. That will be an inspiring move to the Vancouver Canucks.
We're told now that the second Calgary goal, first one of the second period, indeed was tipped in by Mullen and Otto and McGinnis, who they first gave the goal to, through assists. This one by Skriko at 8:41 from Bradley and Stern, and it's 3-3. Harry, this one's up for grabs with a little over 9 minutes left in the period.
Absolutely, it's the Canuck philosophy. Stay close till late in the game, and then maybe we'll get an opportunity, can put it away. It's worked all year for them.
Adams going in there, can't find it. Got by Sandlak, but not out yet. Al McGinnis has to go behind the net. Now he hits Mark Hunter with the pass, and he comes across center. Feeds it up the line. Hunter gets it again. Hunter centered it through the crease. Here's a shot from the far side by Merzen that misses. McGinnis let it go. That's off the leg. Linden coming out. He's been rather quiet tonight. He's been checked rather well by the Calgary Flames and has not really shone. We expected him to be a real player for Vancouver.
Well, at home, the Vancouver Canucks can get this guy away from Otto, who's played a lot of shifts against him. Linden finished up the season in a bit of a slump, but I think he was tired. You know, Bob, he turns 19 on April 11th, the night of Game 5. And his feats as a rookie have been marvelous. 30 goals, third in the rookie scoring. But the most amazing achievement of this brilliant young player has shown us is the fact that 2/3 of the way through the season he was moved from right wing to center, and he played better at this new position. And changing for anybody, let alone a guy who's only played 35 or 40 games in the National League, is a tough chore. And Trevor Linden shows his versatility as one of the great assets, and he is headed for a starry career as a Vancouver Canuck.
Obviously, a heap of talent, Trevor Linden. Lidster comes back. He almost miscued in front of the goaltender. McLean saw it, steered it away. Sutter won't catch up to this one as Suter comes back. Suter of the Flames lifts a high pass to center ice. Gilmore to Mullen. Mullen going in on Sneps. He fell, put a backhander in on the net, though. McLean waits, lost it in front of the goal. Here's a shot. Oh, and a brilliant play by going in the net to come up with a big save. Probably the biggest save of the game. McLean didn't look behind. He was checked and then lost it. Now Sneal is in there. Now Sutter. Big shot off his skate and misses the Calgary net. Patterson back to center ice. Gets it over the line and drops it. Suter, and that's blocked by McLean. And let me tell you, Harold Sneps saved the day for the Vancouver Canucks on that last rush by Calgary.
In Canada, to be successful, a beer must have certain attributes. It must be clean and clear, crisp and cold. And it must have a genuine Canadian taste. Molson Canadian, what beer's all about.
Kirk McLean got careless out here, and look what nearly happened. And Harold Sneps, fond memories of the 1982 playoffs roar through my head when I see Harold Sneps playing the kind of hockey he's playing tonight.
Fleury trying to kick it back. Lube was there and couldn't get a shot. Adams gets it out over his own line for Vancouver. Tandy poked it off the boards. Coming in is Bridgman trying to pick it up off Merzen, who falls. Puck slapped behind the net. It ricochets out near the blue line. McGinnis cleared it. McGinnis again picks it up at his own line for Nieuwendyk coming in. Nieuwendyk shoots it off to the corner for Lube to move. And the puck is lofted over the glass into the crowd to the left of Kirk McLean.
Well, this game is no different than a lot of the games played through the season. Calgary's 5-2-1 against the Canucks. But the goal, they've outscored them only 29-20. And all those games, or almost all of them, were up for grabs late in the third period, as this one is. And the Calgary Flames, if they thought they were going to come out and growl at the Canucks and have the Canucks jump out of the way, they're finding out the hard way. That's not true.
They're in this one with 9:08 left in the third. 3-3. McCrimmon, shot is blocked in front of the net. Lane comes out. He didn't look. He just ripped it on the glass. It didn't get by McCrimmon at the blue line. Otto centers it. And the Canucks get it out over the line. Shot into the zone by Skriko. Moving up on the play is Bradley. McClellan comes back for Calgary. Mark Hunter couldn't get it out. Melnick's shot is blocked by Vernon. Canucks pressing a bit here. Pass goes toward the net. McCown picks it up. Starts away. Got all the way to center ice, and Mullen failed to knock it down. And the Vancouver Canucks shoot it down the ice. That's icing as Rick Natras picks it up. And the St. Louis game is over. We're told in overtime Hull has done it for St. Louis. They defeated Minnesota in OT.
Brad Hull, 41 goals this season, and he's the opportunistic player that can end the game with one shot. Calgary Flames, Bob, have not put their defensemen in on a rush all night, something they did very well all season.
Suter shoots it now. He faked it first time. And again, the net is off the magnets. It doesn't take much to move that net. McLean, the fans thought, moved it intentionally. He bumped it on the post, no question, and it went off the magnets rather quickly. They stopped the play. No penalty.
I think Denny Morrell is giving him a silent little warning. Be careful, Kirk. Be careful. I wouldn't want to call a delay of the game penalty if I thought you did that on purpose. I don't think that was the case, but about 18 of the 20,000 fans were trying to convince Morrell that it should have been a penalty.
Set to go, faced on to the right of McLean. 3-3 is the score. Nearing the 12-minute mark of the third period. Gilmore, Mullen to his right and Patterson to his left for Calgary. Linden 16-1 to draw, but Suter got a shot from the blue line. It bounced away from the net. Adams getting it out into the center ice area. Patterson knocked it down, put it into Mullen. Look out, Mullen shot! Very quick shot, but McLean played him properly all the way. He had the angle and just made the stick save. Good shot by Mullen, though. In it goes. Mullen had a tough time at the blue line with steps, but he stayed onside. Adams takes over near center for Vancouver. To the right wing with the drive by Sandlak. Picked out by Vernon. Canucks fighting hard for it on the boards. Linden falls to the ice. Adams got loose, tried to center it. Now he lost it. Moving up is Sandlak to help. He picked it up, threw it into Adams behind the net, and he was hammered there by Suter, and he's been hurt. And a penalty has been called against Suter of the Calgary Flames. He hit the Canuck player from behind. He did not see him come in at all, and he's going off.
Well, a vicious cross-check, and you know, Calgary's taken a lot of unnecessary penalties tonight. And I don't care who you're playing, you keep giving the opposition the extra man as often as Calgary has tonight, you're asking for trouble. The Vancouver Canuck power play is 18th in the league. But if you give them enough chances, they're going to score. Now watch this. There's no need for this. All he had to do was take them out. That's the kind of penalty you should give a guy 5 minutes for, because that is one where the player could really get hurt. So with 7:21, those pesky Canucks go on the power play.
12:39 then, the time of the penalty. As Harry says, 7:21 left in the period. Cross-checking against Suter. So Vancouver with an opportunity to get back in the lead. It's been a while since they've had the luxury of a lead. Nobody has had better than a one-goal spread in this one. We're tied now at 3. And Greg Adams, number 8, is on at center. Tandy and Skriko are the wingers. Reinhardt and Nordmark, the defenseman at the blue line. It'll be Reinhardt to Nordmark. He missed it. It was kept onside, barely though, right on the blue line in the corner. Back to the line, Nordmark hands it in again to Skriko. Nordmark a second time, and Reinhardt fires one in. Here's Adams setting it up. A real hard pass to Skriko to control, and he failed to do it. Along the board. Canucks get it back to Reinhardt. He flipped the pass in. It was deflected with a high stick and out down the ice by Otto. The play was allowed to continue, though. And Nordmark goes back. Reinhardt skates with him. Nordmark goes the other way for Adams to center. Stopped by Lube. Adams turns, picks it up again. Lube hit him a second time. Now Reinhardt. He left it there for Nordmark. And the Canucks look confused at the moment, trying to move it in. Now they get it across the line. A pass goes in front from Linden to the far corner. Now at the side of the net, Tandy ran into Reinhardt. Now Tandy behind the goal to Reinhardt. To Tandy again. Tandy can't center it. He's covered and knocked to the ice by McCrimmon, whom he grabs. The fans wanted a call on that one. Skriko hangs on to it. Still on a power play. To Skriko again. Screen shot. Picked out by Sutter. 25 seconds left of this power play. Reinhardt behind the net. Tried to pass over on the side. It goes off the board. Canucks keep it in. Skriko gets set to make the play at the line. There's the shot. Rebound. And Vernon somehow kept it out. Pressure on. Another drive. Scramble in front of the goal. Shot at the side of the net. And the play has been called. Boy, the Canucks came so close to scoring on that power play, which is over now, by the way. The penalty has been served.
Picture this. A car that comes with 8.9% financing. A car that comes specially equipped with features that include 5-speed manual, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, and savings of up to $1,978. Now isn't that a pretty picture? Escort, the best-selling car in the world.
Wow, when you've won 37 games in an 80-game schedule, these are the kind of stops you make. And the Vancouver Canucks were outlucked 2 or 3 times in front of the goal. Mike Vernon being sharper than the Vancouver scores.
Canucks are pressing at this stage of the third. Vernon has to stop another. And McGinnis picks it up. He is trying to rush down the left wing boards and does as far as center, shooting it in. Sutter picking it up and losing it. Mullen tried to go for the net. Mullen tried to center it then and couldn't. Smythe takes it out for Vancouver. He's up with Bozak. Bozak swerving up the line and trying to go in on McGinnis. McGinnis didn't get very much room. Merzen couldn't clear it in center right across in front of Bozak. And the Canucks get it out. Up the center, Mullen going in. Mullen upended. Play goes on. Fans really wanted one call there. Cleared over on the boards. Bozak for Vancouver coming out. 4:25 left in the third. Bozak was nailed at the far side as he was trying to go off. Here's Poplinski. He was stopped up the line. Flames going after it. Hunter was bumped on the boards. Poplinski given a shot. And the Canucks get the puck out. Reinhart comes to center down on the wing. The drive just missing as Stern rifle one. Missing on the far side. Poplinski now coming in with Hunter. That's stopped by McLean. What action here now in the third period. 3:50 remaining and these two tied 3-3. Butcher has to hurry back. Lube is in there watching him forechecking. Butcher turning for Vancouver, taking it out. Lube stealing it. Lube from the corner, trying to center it. He was covered on the play. And back of the net, out it comes. Neuendijk moving after it, and the Canucks now trying to hang on. They shoot it down the ice. Icing called against Vancouver. We have 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third.
When front-wheel drive was introduced, it promised a lot.
Front-wheel drive? Front-wheel drive.
But unless you align both your front and rear wheels, front-wheel drive can cause a problem. Increased rear tire wear.
Front-wheel drive.
At Canadian Tire, we specialize in computerized four-wheel alignment that helps restore all the excitement of front-wheel drive.
Trust Canadian Tire, Canada's #1 choice for wheel alignments.
We're tied at 3. This one winding down. 3:20 remaining in regulation time. Flames crowd now trying to get him going. Kirk McLean saw one come off his glove and just missed. Lube kept it in. Canucks cleared out. It was batted back in. That's offside. Called at the Vancouver blue line. We have an update for you now. And here's Scott.
Well, Bob, late in the second period, the Oilers have the lead over the Kings in Los Angeles. Charlie Huddy scored the goal, or did he? He let go a hard shot that went over Glenn Healy's shoulder, hit the crossbar. The goal judge rules it is a goal, and Edmonton leads LA 2-1.
Makings of a tough series there, no question. Game 2 tomorrow night, of course, at the Forum in Los Angeles. Adams takes a pass at center, steps in. He's bodied to the ice by Merzen. Canucks shoot it in and get back on side. Around the net is Al McGinnis. McGinnis played it swiftly to the left wing, and Luba did knock it down with his glove. Flurry shot didn't get very far. And then the rebound came to Lube, and he ripped it high. McGinnis backs up again. 2:35 remaining in regulation time. Calgary Flames. Canucks full value in their game plan. Here's a shot from the sharp angle by Mullen. Hit the side of the net. Snaps moving it out. Chance here for Vancouver to shock the Flames. Adams going in, and Vernon was very steady, skating across in front of the crease to glove it, and he held on to it.
In here, Bob.
Bills, bills, bills.
Yeah, tell me.
How does Fiji sound this year?
We can't afford Fiji.
2 free tickets to paradise.
What? How did you get that?
In the world of Canadian Plus, you can earn free trips fast. It's easy with our network of airline, rental car, and hotel partners, and our innovative credit card. Our world revolves around you.
We are Canadian.
This program is copyrighted and is strictly for the private use for audience and reproduction, retransmission, distribution, or exhibition in whole or in part without the express written consent of the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is strictly prohibited. Face off to the right of Mike Vernon. 2:18 left in regulation time. Puck cleared on the boards. Gilmore trying to get it out. Gilmore, Mullen, and Patterson on there for the Calgary Flames. Trevor Linden playing at center ice for the Vancouver Canucks. He has Greg Adams on his left wing now. And over there, Sandlak with the puck. Coming to center. Sandlak flipped the high one in. Vernon steps behind the net. Leaving it for McCrimmon. He sees Gilmore starting away, and he's going in with Patterson. Here's Patterson cutting for the net. He centered it. And it somehow came off his stick and got to the far corner. Gilmore after it again. Sandlak trying to clear it out. The Canucks do clear it. A minute and a half left now. Adams coming in. Adams passed in front of the slot. And Sandlak was stripped of the puck. Here's McCrimmon back the other way. Here's Mullen getting ready. He shoots. And the save made by McLean. And McLean hangs out of it. Quite a few times tonight, that net has been off the magnets and sticks go high. Some shoving in behind the goal. With the linesman in there, you see Leon Stickle and Asseltine getting them apart with only a minute and 17 seconds left in regulation time. 3-3.
Tell you, Garth Butcher made a real sharp play to knock McCrimmon down after McCrimmon had dropped the puck to Mullen. Had he not done that, McCrimmon would have been in front of the net to get a goal exactly like McCowan got. Now watch Butcher 5. And you can see where McCrimmon was trying to go. Little things like that win you games. Garth Butcher has done a few of those little things all season and has been the obvious most physical defenseman on the Vancouver Canucks again tonight.
Joe Lotto with Jim Poplinski. Two big guys come on there for Calgary. And Mark Hunter takes over on the right side. Now this is an important face-off into the right of Kirk McLean, deep in the Vancouver zone. Steve Bozak is on there with Spiel and Sutter for Vancouver.
Well, this is the Vancouver Canucks' big defensive line. Barry Peterson played at Bozak's spot most of the season. But Bozak's been a versatile, valuable player for Vancouver. Left wing, right wing, center, killing penalties, and here he is, centering the line in the Stanley Cup playoffs with a minute and 17 to go against his old mates, the Calgary Flames.
And he's up against the big line of Otto Hunter and Poplinski. Ready to drop it in. Bozak will try to win it from Otto. Can't do it. It comes to McGinnis. He steps into the corner. McGinnis hit the side of the net as he tried to center it. Hunter was standing in the crease area. Sutter got it out for Vancouver. Pass went over the boards at the Calgary bench. 1:04 left in regulation time here in Game 1. We remind you, Game 2 tomorrow night here at the same time at the Olympic Saddle Dome. We also remind you to stay tuned for our Molson 3-star selection after this one.
Terry Crisp, I'm sure, not as happy as Bob McCammon is at where this game sits. Less than a minute to go, or 1:04 to go, and it's 3-3. You'd ask any Vancouver player or coach, would they like to go into overtime in Game 1 on the road, and they'd have had 20 hands up in a big hurry. Into
the final minute now. The Flames shoot it all the way down the ice. Reinhardt around the net. Hunter's chasing him. Reinhardt nearly lost it. Hunter had got up across center, and Sutter shoots it in behind the Calgary net. Canucks keep it in up the line. A quick pass gets out, though, and Hunter moves up with Otto. Otto going for the goal. Hunter will try to hit him with the pass, but Reinhardt was aware of that move and stopped it. Back for Vancouver, led by Rich Sutter. He's going in across the line. Took a shot, a weak one. Stopped on the short side by Vernon with 23 seconds remaining in regulation time. Another chance for Calgary. Louvre played it in on the left wing for Poplinski. Out of the net is McLean with 12 seconds to play in regulation time. The Canucks dumped in by Smythe. It's wide of the goal with 5 seconds to play. And it looks like overtime, and here we go. Overtime in game 1 between Vancouver and Calgary.
Bob McCammon's game plan has worked perfectly tonight. If only they could kick one in. And when you're the underdog and you're in overtime and the other team's rigged, you've got the chance that you've been waiting for and have worked on the whole game. My question is, can Vancouver do this 4 games in 5 nights?
Spreco tied it up at 8:41, and now we have a chance to go to Los Angeles.
And at this time, we say hello to those viewers in southern Alberta and British Columbia who have been watching the game between Vancouver and Calgary. I'm Don Whitman, along with John Garrett and Chris Cuthbert. 2:04 remaining in the second period. Puck slides down into the Los Angeles zone. Messier has it back to the net out front, and it almost went off his skate. Now it's Smith trying to center it. Duchesne blocked it, and the Los Angeles defenseman pokes it ahead to Gretzky. He comes out with Krushelnyski and Taylor going for the net, tried to slip it through, but it was broken up by Steve Smith, who has it.
When Steve Smith jumped up into the play, Mark Messier was smart enough to get back there, take his spot. Good play defensive.
Here's Anderson coming in against Laidlaw's shot. That deflects off the stick into the corner. 1:25 remaining in the second. 2-1, the Oilers leading. All 3 goals scored on the power play. Charlie Huddy with the go-ahead goal in the second period. Now it's Casper on the right side for Taylor. In across the line, working against Huddy. Huddy knocks him off the puck. It's loose in the corner. Casper comes in as well with less than a minute remaining in the second period, and they tie it up for a faceoff.
Charlie Huddy taking Dave Taylor all the way. Looked right at his midsection, played him perfectly. Gets the whistle, left to Grant Fuhr.
Bobby Fatorik initially had planned, of course, on starting Kelly Rudy. But Rudy, as have many members of the Los Angeles Kings, ill with the flu. And he was unable to start this game. He is the backup, but is not on the bench. He is in the dressing room.
Glenn Healy couldn't be faulted on either Edmonton goal. Charlie Huddy's perfect shot over his shoulder.
On the faceoff, Laidlaw keeps it in. Back to the net, Duguay looking out front. He's tied up. They continue the battle in the corner for that puck. Flipped around the boards. Good hit there as Laidlaw steps into McTavish, and there's a penalty coming up here against Craig McTavish. This will be a cross-checking call with 37 seconds remaining in the period. Somewhat similar to what we saw at the end of the first period, with 45 seconds remaining in the first period. McTavish took a penalty, and he takes a late penalty, 37 seconds remaining in the second.
This one's a retaliation penalty, especially at this time in the game. You're in a 2-1 game. Lack of discipline, and that's something that Craig McTavish really does have. He's shown it throughout his career. Here he gives Laidlaw a shot from behind, both hands on the stick. Terry Gregson at the other side of the ice saw it perfectly and made the good call.
And that's something that coaches always frown upon, retaliation penalties.
Especially during the playoffs. You can get away with it during the regular season, especially the attitude the Edmonton Oilers have towards the regular season. It's just a preliminary getting ready for the playoffs. But once those playoffs start, they want to see team discipline on that ice.
So it's another power play opportunity for the Los Angeles Kings. They scored on their very first shot with the man advantage, but they've been unsuccessful since. Back to the line, Nichols sliding it to the goal mouth. Broken up, Duchesne lets the shot go. Scores!
Point. They get a break. It bounces off Keegan and right to Duchesne. He lets it go right through Dave Taylor's legs. That's Marty McSorley out there screening. That's usually Taylor's job. Marty McSorley right in front of Graham Pure. No chance for Pure. The shot clean from the point to tie it up.
And all of the fans coming to the game tonight as they entered the Forum were presented with a hanky, promotion by a Los Angeles radio station. They call it a King kerchief, and they are waving them each time the Kings score. So a power play goal ties it up. We have just 12 seconds remaining in this second period, and these two teams are going to go to the dressing room after 40 minutes in the same position they were in after 20 minutes of play with the score tie.
All right, then, they're tied at 2 at the Forum in Los Angeles, and here at the Saddle Dome, we're tied at 3 and headed for extra time. We said at the end of the second period it was within the reach of the Vancouver Canucks. They're even closer now, tied at 3, the result of Petri Skriko's goal. This is Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC. We'll be back.
Some have let life get complicated. Others will never let life get that way. GWG.
Defending champion Sandy Lyle and the world's best golfers go for the green jacket at the Masters. Saturday on CBC.
Welcome back to the Calgary Saddle Dome, where we're tied at 3 and headed for extra time. And as a result of being in our extra intermission, we're afforded the opportunity of speaking with Calgary Flames defenseman Rob Ramage, who is the odd defenseman out tonight, did not dress. I should imagine in a game like this it's tough to watch and not be playing.
It certainly is. I'd much rather be out in the ice or in the locker room right now with the guys and on intermission. But, you know, we've got 7D, so one man has to sit out.
The book on the Vancouver Canucks was that they play a tight checking game, and if it's close in the third period, they've got a chance. That they do. Are you surprised with how much they've been able to keep the vaunted Flames offense under wraps?
Well, I think Vancouver has executed their game plan to the T. They've got some great goaltending from McLean tonight. I think it's really kept them in the game. You know, what can you say? They're very tight with the checking, and they don't give up too much. And we've had some good opportunities, just haven't been able to bury the puck.
What should the Flames have done to avoid the tight checking of the Canucks, or can you avoid it?
It's hard. You can't, you know, become undisciplined, try and open up, because they thrive on that. They wait for their opportunities and try and bury them. You know, maybe taking the body could have opened things up a little more for us, but, you know, it's early in the series.
You know, the Flames would certainly incur the wrath of your head coach, Terry Crisp, if you guys were to try to open it up and get careless, because he has said that you spent the entire season learning how to play defensive hockey and has cautioned you not to get away from it in the playoffs.
No, we've concentrated very much on that all year, and we've had good success. I think second overall in goals against in the league, and that's something we're very proud of. I think that's something that will carry us in good stead in the playoffs. So we've got to maintain that game plan. You know, we just hope the puck bounces our way.
All kinds of talk about the reduction in goals by the Vancouver Canucks. Goals against, that is. I think it's something like 106. But you guys also had a significant reduction in goals against.
Oh, we certainly did. And that's something that takes a total team effort, not just the goaltender, the defenseman, but the forwards too. And it's not a real glorious thing to play good defense, but I'll tell you, I think in the close games, it's going to come out to your benefit.
You joined the Calgary Flames just prior to the trading deadline, just over a year ago. I should think that even though you're not dressed tonight, you're happy to be with the top team overall after the regular schedule, the Calgary Flames.
Oh, certainly. It's been a unique experience winning as much as we do here in Calgary. It's a unique experience to be sitting out, so I guess you have to take the good with the bad sometimes.
You were here in time to share in that rather stunning second-round elimination from the playoffs last year, and a lot has been made about how much the Flames learned from that.
Well, I'll tell you, coming from St. Louis to a hockey city like Calgary, it was a shocker. The people were expecting us to go all the way, and I think in the locker room we were too. But hopefully we've learned from that experience, and we'll carry that experience into the playoffs this season.
Suffice to say, the Flames are not overconfident this year. Quickly, do you expect to dress tomorrow night for Game 2?
I sure hope so.
All right. Rob Ramich of the Calgary Flames, thank you for joining us here in our extra intermission. Live on CBC, this is Molson Hockey Night in Canada.
When they first asked me to be a part of Best Western, I said, what a country. I always wanted to do a cowboy movie. Then they said, no, it's a commercial for Best Western hotels across Canada and all around the world. I said, no problem, as long as you still film me like a real Canadian cowboy. Does anybody have a quarter? Whoa, we me, you'll get along, little Bobby.
Once there were two neighbors who were selling their homes. Mr. Jones listed his with Canada's leading real estate organization, RE/MAX. Mr. Birdie didn't. Mr. Jones chose RE/MAX because RE/MAX people get results, and his house sold in no time. Mr. Birdie's didn't. That is, until he got wise and also got RE/MAX. The moral of this story? Chances are RE/MAX is going to sell your home anyway. Why not call them first?
Birds of spring, birds of sunshine.
My whole family's ready for spring because Woolco was ready for us. Right now, Woolco has a fresh crop of spring fashions for the whole family. Something for everyone, including new Lady Plus styles. Finally, fashions and prices that really fit a growing family. From Woolco.
Birds of spring, Woolco, birds of sunshine. Woolco, prices, just the beginning.
You'll get it all for less. At Save-On Foods and Drugs, our reputation is built on one-stop shopping, friendly service, and low prices guaranteed. At Save-On Foods and Drugs, we will beat superstore advertised prices on items we stock. It's our guarantee, and our people are proud of it. We're BC's home team. At Save-On Foods and Drugs, we make low prices happen.
Drop that chicken. On the road again. It's about ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
I'd like to do a song.
Thursdays at 7.
Back to Calgary's Olympic Saddle Dome and the Stanley Cup playoffs, 1989 on CBC. While the Canucks are making the most of their tight-checking defensive style at the expense of the heavily favored Calgary Flames, there was one goal scored in the third period. The Canucks scored it. As a result, we're headed for overtime. And right now, let's go up to the broadcast booth and join Bob Cole and Harry Neal.
Scott, you're right on the money. It's a close-checking game. Fine display of close checking, really, by the Vancouver Canucks. Bob McCammon's game plan right on the money again. And here we are in overtime.
Absolutely. You have to give the Canucks credit. They looked like they were bending a few times, but they didn't break. And now they're into a one-shot game, and it doesn't make any difference who's playing who in a one-shot game.
McCammon says we'll close check them to death and then get a chance. And watch Skriko come in to score. And that was a great effort, and that tied the game, and that's why we're waiting for overtime now. Harold Snaps, 34 years old and playing like a youngster tonight.
Well, he's been the best Vancouver defenseman. He's also a pretty good goaltender. He stopped 2 bullets tonight one to prevent a goal for sure.
Biggest save of the game right there. The shots were 40-29, but you wonder what has happened really to the firepower that we're told the Vancouver Canucks would have to face against these Calgary Flames. They've been checked that well, though.
Yes, they have, but my question, I guess, is from a Calgary viewpoint, where's Lube, where's Otto, where's Nieuwendyk? These guys have scored all year, and tonight they aren't getting the chances, and when they do, they can't beat McLean.
So now, with overtime coming up, this game is up for grabs. Here again is Scott Oak.
All right, Bob, and quickly let's check our out-of-town scoreboard. Canadians justify their role as prohibitive favorites over the Hartford Whalers. 6-2 the final. The most lopsided loss of the night. The Buffalo Sabres shut out the Bruins in Boston. The result, not a surprise. The score is the Washington Capitals are Patrick Division favorites, although tonight's score would indicate they had their hands full with Philadelphia, but the Caps have the early lead in that series. Paul Coffey led the Pittsburgh Penguins to victory over the Rangers. Mario Lemieux in his playoff debut did not score, but the Penguins lead that series. Red Wings lead the Chicago Blackhawks, but it wasn't easy for Detroit in Game 1. 3-2 the final. North Stars and St. Louis Blues went to overtime. 11:55 gone in the extra period when Brett Hull won it for St. Louis. And in Los Angeles, the Oilers and Kings are tied at 2 after 2. Let's go back to Bob Cole and Harry Neal.
Well, it's anybody's game. The Vancouver Canucks are one shot away from winning the opening game of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the team that's favored to win the Stanley Cup.
They stormed out at the start of period number 2, and again in period number 3 would love to try to do it again here in overtime. That's just what they're doing. The shot by Gilmore is on the net. McLean stopped that. Canucks get it out of the zone, and McGinnis comes back at his own line. Merzen takes it, feeds it ahead. Gilmore chopped it away, and it's fired high off the glass to the right of Mike Vernon. Flames move up on it. Gilmore moving in. He has to scoop it in. He was checked by Smythe. Roberts can't get his stick on it. It floats out over the blue line. McCown couldn't go back in, and it's Lidster playing it up to the line. A long shot is off the mark as Sutter let her go from just inside the blue line. Lube shoots it in for Calgary. Lube stops it. Put a shot on the net. McLean was alert and covered up with a stick save. Puck rolls all the way back into the Calgary zone. That's McCammon trying to dump it away. Sneps on the ice. He's logged a lot of ice time tonight, Harold Sneps has. Tandy tried to go in, was stopped by McCown. McCown couldn't move on it. Now it's Bridgman trying to carry in. He doesn't get very far. Stopped by Nordmark. He backhands it right to McCown. He got it out. Nieuwendyk feeds it to Lube. Going in. Lube's shot. And that's deflected into the crowd.
One thing the Vancouver Canucks have done tonight, as well as any team against this offensive powerhouse, the Calgary Flames, have allowed very few 3-on-2s. The Calgary defensemen have been able to jump into a 3-on-3 rush. They're making a 4-on-3, and I think Calgary's had but one 2-on-1. And when you take away those opportunities with good solid play in the middle of the rink, your chances of keeping it a 3-goal game or less have really dramatically improved.
Flames win the face-off. Suter shot. A screen shot and another. By Otto was blocked by McLean. Otto picked it up and then he was flattened before he could make a move with it. The Canucks tried to get it out. At the line, Poplinski closing in. That's kicked away by McLean. Poplinski again went after it. McLean has stalwart in the nets tonight for Vancouver. Couple of big saves here in overtime. The Flames in again with Linsky. His shot off his skate and it bounced away from the net. Sandlak got a pass away. In comes Greg Adams. Backhands it in toward the net. He missed by about 6 feet. And Suter brings it out again. Fleury on the ice. Got it ahead. Hunter couldn't pick up the pass. McLean dumped it on the glass. Not out. McGinnis! And that's knocked down by McLean. McGinnis walking right into a hard shot. Vancouver Canucks move it in now. Here's Bradley's drive. That's kicked out. Reinhart gets set. He's closing in. Oh, he scores! Reinhart scores! The Vancouver Canucks pile onto the ice from their bench, congratulating Reinhart. And it's a stunned crowd here at the Olympic Saddledome. Reinhart scoring at 2:47 of overtime. And Vancouver wins game number 1, 4-3, defeating the first overall Calgary Flames.
Reinhart walked off the point. Everyone ran to someone else, and he shot it. Vernon got about 80% of the puck, but it rolled in. Now here comes Reinhart off the point. He doesn't shoot. He keeps walking in. All the Flames run to someone else. And Petro Skriko made it tough for Vernon to see the shot. And Reinhart gets his old mates between the shoulder blades with the winning goal to win the first game for the Vancouver Canucks.
Reinhart, Harry, had all kinds of time to size up the situation and come in. And he did the right thing, obviously, by taking that shot from that angle. Vernon couldn't keep it out.
And the Flames complained mildly about someone being in the crease, but to no avail. And we know one thing for sure. They'll play hockey on next Tuesday night, April 11th.
So in overtime, the Canucks win it 4-3. In just a moment, our Molson Cup 3-star selection.
The future of business communications. It's here now. Canon Fax from Calgary Copier. Canon Fax has what business needs. Plain paper capability, laser printing, the power to reach more than 22,000 worldwide destinations in one transmission. And Calgary Copier has the service program and personnel to guarantee you total service satisfaction. Canon Fax from Calgary Copier.
You won't believe it. A wild oat and broadleaf herbicide that's gentle on wheat and barley but tough on wild oats. A wild oat herbicide that works under normal or dry conditions. A wild oat herbicide that alone controls broadleaf weeds and is tank mixable with 2,4-D ester and MCPA ester. A wild oat herbicide with an early 1 to 4 leaf application window. Assert. You won't believe it until you try it.
Our Molson 3 stars, Paul Reinhart with the winning goal, and so he is the first star tonight, deservedly so. Joe Otto of the Calgary Flames, the second star, and Kirk McLean gave the Canucks stellar goaltending. He is the third star in tonight's game. And so then David upsets Goliath in the first game of this Smythe Division semifinal series. That is to say, the Calgary Flames fall 4-3 to the Vancouver Canucks in overtime. Stay tuned for more of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
The future of business communications. It's here now. Canon Fax from Calgary Copier. Canon Fax has what business needs. Plain paper capability, laser printing, the power to reach more than 22,000 worldwide destinations in one transmission. And Calgary Copier has the service program and personnel to guarantee you total service satisfaction. Canon Fax from Calgary Copier.
You won't believe it. A wild oat and broadleaf herbicide that's gentle on wheat and barley but tough on wild oats. A wild oat herbicide that works under normal or dry conditions. A wild oat herbicide that alone controls broadleaf weeds and is tank mixable with 2,4-D ester and MCPA ester. A wild oat herbicide with an early 1 to 4 leaf application window. Assert. You won't believe it until you try it.
Took my gal to breakfast the other day, which makes for a cheap date, seeing as how she doesn't eat breakfast. Me, I love breakfast when it's done just the way I want, which brings me to Harvey's, literally. Because right now, Harv's serving up a tasty home-style breakfast special of eggs, toasted French bread, fresh brewed coffee, and a nice mug with Harv's name plastered all over it, which you get to keep, all for $2.19. Girl, you just don't know what you're missing.
107 Kick FM and rock and roll. We've grown up together. 107 Kick FM with the greatest.
The Beatles. It's been a hard day's night.
And the latest. The widest variety of music with less repetition so you can listen longer. 107 Kick FM, Calgary's classic rock.
Black & Decker, a new cut saw for professionals designed to stop at nothing. Cuts faster than any cut saw in its class. And gives you the flexibility of dual variable speed and blade reversibility. Is it any wonder our new professional cut saw runs circles around the competition? The power of Black & Decker.
Defending champion Sandy Lyle and the world's best golfers go for the green jacket at the Masters. Saturday on CBC.
The Vancouver Canucks upset the Calgary Flames 4-3 in overtime in Game 1 of this Smythe Division semifinal series. And the hero of the game with the winning goal in overtime, Canucks defenseman Paul Reinhart, who had some good years with the Calgary Flames. Now he's plying his trade in Vancouver. And have you any idea what you've done? Has it sunk in yet?
Well, I don't think it. I mean, it hasn't, and it hasn't. It's not as if I haven't been in this situation before. And I realize that one game a series does not make. And I think that as high as what the Vancouver Canucks are right now and as excited as we are, we have to realize that, face it, that game could have won either way, and we get one. That's one less than we have to win, but we're playing against a team that's certainly capable of winning 4 games in a hurry. So we have to be excited with it and learn from it, but not get too overzealous with it.
As you settled into this chair a few moments ago, your comment was, I have no idea how it went in. We, of course, have the luxury of being able to see it again, so let's watch it, and perhaps you can describe it.
That's right. When I saw the puck coming to, my first reaction was to take a shot right away, but I mistimed the puck. And when it comes around the boards, and I mistime it for a one-timer, and it ends up costing their guy because I have a chance to slip by him then. Then I'm faced with a lot of room. And when I have a lot of room, I really don't see anywhere to go, and I'm just shooting. I admit I just shot that up high, and it looks as if it just might have went in off a Skriko, actually, but all I know is that I saw the puck going in, and that's all that counted to me.
Well, Paul, it's dangerous to pinch in like that at any point in the game, especially in overtime.
Well, yeah, but I thought that I could get control of the puck, and certainly we knew that, and we had said before we went out there that let's not sit back, because if you... everybody's been in overtime games before, and it seems that the more you sit back, the less chances that you get, and you always end up playing defensive as opposed to offensive. So we actually went after it a little bit tonight.
I guess in a nutshell, we could say that the Canucks' game plan worked to perfection, did it not?
Well, we played well, and it's not a game plan that's unique to the playoffs for us. We've worked for an 80-game schedule on that type of game plan, so it's something that we like to think that we've come a little bit closer to perfecting over the course of the year, and we just hope it can carry us a long way.
Were you surprised the game was not as physical as many thought it would be?
Well, I guess it was physical, and yet it wasn't dirty, and there wasn't a lot of chippiness, but there was some hard hits, and I guess we're a tough team to play physical against, because we've got a lot of guys who are a little bit smaller and who are a little bit gutsy, and they'll stand in there and take it, and you're not going to demoralize them by hitting them. On the other hand, I think that there's a tendency sometimes for other teams to end up in the penalty box a lot more than us, and that's all to our liking and our benefit for sure.
Paul Reinhart, congratulations. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Paul Reinhart, the hero of tonight's game, scoring the winning goal 2 minutes and 47 seconds into overtime, and so the Canucks draw first blood in this Smythe Division semifinal series. We'll return with more after this.
Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Great.
Brian. Hey, Mike! Please, stand him up! Are you up for it? Are you up for it? Are you up for it?
welcome back to the Saddle Dome in Calgary, where the Canucks have upset the Calgary Flames 4-3 in overtime in Game 1 of this Smythe Division semifinal series. The winning goal scored by Paul Reinhardt 2 minutes and 47 seconds into overtime. Let us check our out-of-town scoreboard now. We have a final here at the Saddle Dome, and we also have 6 other finals to pass on to you. The Canadians solved the Whalers goaltender Kay Whitmore, who gave them some difficulty early in the game, and they beat him in big fashion 6-2 in the Adams Division semifinal opener for them. That, unfortunately, is all the time we have to pass on scores to you. We'll be with you again tomorrow night for Game 2 of this Smythe Division semifinal series. We bid you good night for now from the Calgary Saddle Dome.